Hello everyone, welcome to another video of the Essential Sports Talk. Today, we discuss the wild card games. And all these games are going to be in order, so this is the first game we're going to talk about. As you see, that's the first game that's going to happen. The last game that's going to happen in the wild card round will be the last game we talk about. So, with that, let's get it started. The first one here is the Chargers versus the Texans. And without a doubt, this was the easiest one to pick. The Chargers are destroying them. The Texans barely made it here. The Texans probably wouldn't have made it here if their entire division didn't suck. I mean, their division was garbage. This division really just struggled. The Texans really didn't deserve to make it compared to a lot of other teams, especially like the Chargers, who had to face a Chiefs team and a Broncos team in the same division. The Raiders were pretty easy, but still, the Chargers had an overall harder division, have a better head coach. They have a better quarterback, especially this season. If he would have balled out like last season, maybe not, but this season, they have a better quarterback, way better running back, way better offensive line. I mean, everything says the Chargers should win, which is why I give the Chargers the win in this one. Next matchup here is the Steelers and the Ravens. This was not as easy as I thought it would be, because I considered a lot of things. More importantly, I considered who was the Steelers quarterback gonna be. And unfortunately for the Steelers, it looks like it's going to be Russell Wilson at the time I am making this video. And if Russell Wilson is in fact the quarterback, it's over. Russell Wilson has been limping the entire time, it feels like. He had a first couple good games, and then he's just been struggling since. And the Ravens, meanwhile, have had to catch up. They have earned their way into the playoffs after being with a bad record. It was a struggle for them, but now they are on top of the division. They want to prove they are better than the Steelers. The big point I thought about is the Steelers own the Ravens. The Steelers always beat the Ravens, it feels like. But I realized when the Steelers beat the Ravens this year, Justin Fields was in fact their quarterback, which is why give me the Ravens over the Steelers. The next matchup, Broncos-Bills. I feel bad for the Broncos, honestly. I would have given them a lot of other matchups, a lot of other teams rather than the Chiefs. I think they could have beaten in the wild card round, which Chiefs aren't even in the wild card round, but you know what I mean. But they had to take on the Bills, a team who would have been fighting for a 1 seed in the NFC division. In the NFC conference, they would have fought for a 1 seed in the last week. But no, they had the Chiefs in the AFC conference already clutch it, so they sat out their starters, and their record looks a little bit worse. That is not true. They are a 14-3 team. The Broncos, they were fantastic, but the fact that Joe Burrow almost caught up is the problem. Joe Burrow started at 4-8. That is not supposed to happen. He's not supposed to come back. The Bengals should not have come back anywhere close to that conversation. Josh Allen, high-powered offensive guy. All these defenses have not stopped him this season. And that is why I take the Bills over the Broncos. Now it's Packers-Eagles. The Green Bay Packers, this is a bad situation for them, man. Everyone is injured. Jordan Love, who is starting, their starting quarterback, is dealing with injuries all season. They paid this guy, and look what happened. Jordan Love is not going to be the guy to get them all the way, so you have to rely on Josh Jacobs against an Eagles defense that is just so good. They looked so bad in the first week and then destroyed everyone. The Eagles have a better everything, better quarterback, better receivers, better cornerbacks. I mean, Jair Alexander apparently isn't even playing today. That's even worse. Who the heck is going to guard Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown? You don't even have one of Jair Alexander's, let alone all these other cornerbacks who aren't going to be that good. You do not have another Jair Alexander on your team, which is why I picked the Eagles over the Packers. Okay, 2 more to go. Commanders, Bucks. This was the hardest game to decide. And you're like, what about the Vikings and Rams? That is not as hard as you think. And I'll explain why. But first, Buccaneers, Commanders. I had to take a lot into consideration. Both teams feel like they didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. Honestly, after their last couple of weeks. The Buccaneers, in pretty much any other division, wouldn't have made the playoffs. The Commanders had a weak division. Rather than the Eagles, they faced the Cowboys and the Giants. The Bucks, rather than the Falcons, faced, who was it? The Panthers and the Saints. Now that record does not tell you everything because the Bucks started off the season struggling and the Commanders went on fire. And then it switched. And then it's like it kind of just stayed calm through there. These two teams have felt like the opposite team at the points of their season. So I think, in my opinion is here, that the Bucks did not sit out anybody. Meanwhile, the Commanders did sit out some guys. So they are rested. But at the same time, are they going to struggle because they didn't play? I think the Commanders are going to take the Buccaneers very seriously. And I think this is going to be a shootout. This is going to be a close game. But I'm going to take the Commanders to win this game. Yes, rookie quarterback, but give me the Commanders to win this game. And finally, one last game. Vikings, Rams. The home team, there is no home team here. There is no home team. The Rams are not a home team. We know what's happening in Los Angeles. It's really unfortunate. And that's kind of the deciding factor. That's why it made this game so easy for me. Because if they were at home, this would have made the game a lot harder. But they're playing in Arizona. They're playing in a state that they are hated in. Could you imagine if a bunch of Arizona fans decided to go to that game? They're going to boo the hell out of the Rams. The Rams are not a home team, even though it says they are. They won their division, and then all this unfortunate stuff happens in real life, and that is going to affect them in the game. The Rams cannot win against the Vikings. Sam Darnold, yes, he's not been looking great, but at the same time, he faced the Lions last week. Who's beaten the Lions? There is one guy who's genuinely, one quarterback who's went head-to-head with the Lions, and that was Josh Allen, and he won. I mean, there's going to be some guys that are coming back for the Lions when they get their playoff game. They were missing a lot of guys, but at the Vikings still got stopped because it was an awesome game. Meanwhile, the Rams, they were this close to missing the playoffs. They were a catch away. They were a catch away from missing the playoffs. We saw it in weeks when Arizona could not score. They were one catch away. The Rams are going to struggle. They don't have the support of their home team. This just doesn't feel like the LA Rams. That is why I pick the Vikings to win. So that's all my picks there. And tell me in the comments if you disagree, agree, or would change anything about my predictions. If you do, and you did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment so I can see you next time. Thank you for watching the Essential Sports Talk.